It's such good shit!
Hey, it's Mark Rodriguez here. We're back with the Diving Cutter podcast. It's been a while, but it's also been a while since the last AEW pay-per-view. And with me here is...
Hey, this is Johnny Rodriguez. Thanks for the invite, bro.
Hey, it's Chuck. Ready for another show here. Let's get it on.
It's Jack, once again, helping out the Diving Cutter podcast.
And once again, tagging in the God of Thunder, the Lord of Rock and Roll, Rikki Roxx is in the house for the Diving Cutter podcast. We're talking AEW Revolution 2021. Let's get it on.
All right, guys. So as usual, we're gonna do our thing where we kind of talk about the matches, give our predictions. We're gonna do a comparison between now and what actually happened after the event is over. And we've been having a lot of fun with punishments here. If you all recall from the last podcast, even though it's been a good while, the last podcast, the one that had the least correct because he wanted to be such a, what's the term? I forgot what the term is, but whatever it is, Mr. Jack Knives was the loser of the last event, and he got to win the wonderful and oh so glorious, it's so beautiful, it brings a tear to my eye, the Vixen shirt of Vicky Guerrero and Nyla Rose in bikinis. My God, it's so beautiful. Here's your clip.
Oh, thank you very much. Huh. Something from Mark. All right. Hey, Jack, you remember the punishment? Well, here you go. Ha 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 ha. No, I don't. I can't remember how many months it's been. I don't know what's in here. Oh, the nightmare's finally over.
Oh, the shirt tortured me so.
You had to be a maverick, right? You just had to go into business for yourself.
Yeah, that's the term I was looking for, maverick.
I'm sure you're going to look great in it.
All right, and as usual...
Might I suggest the next punishment shirt?
What would that be?
The Don Callis Kenny Omega oil painting.
Oh, God.
Well, guys, real quick, I want to say thanks for having me once again. It's always a blast being here with you guys, and I got to say, a lot of exciting things coming up, and I couldn't be more excited. I mean, you know, it's definitely going to be controversial. There's definitely going to be some surprises. There's going to be a lot of unexpected twists and turns, but, you know, we've been waiting for this for so long now, and I think it's finally going to be here. And it's really going to blow everybody away, I predict. I mean, you know, Kevin Smith is controversial. He definitely does a lot of things that are off the cuff, but I think he really respects the fans, and I really like what Bear McCreary came up with. Wait a second. I'm talking about Masters of the Universe Revelation. What are we talking about?
AEW Revolution, man.
Okay, see, I've been really into Masters of the Universe lately, so I kind of slipped away for a second, but you got me now.
Oh my goodness. Well, anyways, guys, let's start with some of the matches here. Why don't we start with one of the ones that's supposed to be for, or I guess might be the only one, because they only do one match nowadays, for the buy-in, which of course is supposed to entice everyone to purchase a pay-per-view. So we have apparently Riho teaming up with Thunder Rosa versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. She's a dentist and a role model, in case you guys didn't know, and Rebel. So who do you think's going to take that one, guys?
I'll just say, I honestly, I think this is Thunder's shot at, getting back her win on Britt. But I just think Britt is so, white hot right now. And, I think I don't know. It could go either way, really, but I think Rebel's going to probably take the fall to Thunder.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. I could see it going down like that. For one thing, neat to see Rebel in the mix. Pretty prominent in Impact a couple of years ago. Neat to see her come in part of this angle. Yeah, I could see that. It does kind of seem, though, like you got 3 people in the match who are pretty well AEW certified. You got Rebel coming in. She's sort of the odd one out in a sense. I could see her being there to take the loss, frankly. It could go a lot of different ways, but I think I'm going to flip a coin. I'm going to say that Rebel's there to take the pin, to keep Rich strong and everybody else strong. So I'm going to say that Riho and Thunder Rosa take it, but could go either way.
My opinion is basically that I think it's going to be building up a little more of. I think it's going to be like a friendly rivalry between like Riho and Rosa, because Riho was the first AEW Women's Champion, and Rosa flat out hates Britt Baker, so I think it's kind of going to go like that. But at the same time, I think Rosa is most likely going to get the pin against Rebel. But I think Riho might, like double team against Rebel. I don't see Britt Baker taking the pinfall loss because, as Chuck pointed out, she's too red hot. Like, they're not going to have her lose that easy, at least until after she gets like a title shot. Which I'm really shocked she hasn't gotten one yet, considering like isn't she still undefeated? Has she been pretty, like, she's almost completely undefeated, right? Like, I think she's lost, like, 1 match. Or 2 matches, and I know one of them was a tag team. One of them was a tag team, and then, like, the other one was was in the tournament. So...
She lost to
I'm assuming... No, that was last year. I'm talking about for this year, because remember they restarted the statistics. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with... I'm going to go with Riho and Rosa.
I don't know. I mean, I think Riho and Thunder Rosa, they're both very talented. They're very fast and agile. So I think that they have a bigger advantage. I don't know. It's kind of like those crazy matches. They don't know what's going to happen. But judging from the talent that Riho and Thunder Rosa has, they might still have a shot.
Yeah, so in my opinion, I guess I agree with you guys. I mean, Thunder Rosa's like, she has like the high power level, the way she fights, the way she's established herself. She's not going to go down like a punk, Riho is the first women's champion, so, or second women's champion. But you know what? She's a women's champion, so she's not going to go down like a punk either. Britt Baker's red hot, like you guys established. She hasn't really lost any like one-on-one match, I don't think. And or at least, without shenanigans or whatever. And Rebel's going to probably get some spots. This is the few times we've ever seen her actually wrestle in a match and not just be interference or whatever. So she'll have some spots. But yeah, most likely to keep Baker looking strong, she's going to probably eat the pin. And if you want to go with that, they could probably start a little storyline with, Baker being pissed at Rebel and slapping her or whatever. The whole shape up or ship out kind of thing. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, they're all going to look strong. But I'm going to give it to Thunder Rosa and Riho as well.
So was it unanimous then? Did we all say Riho and Thunder Rosa?
I think we all did.
Right.
Yeah, we all did.
I think we all unanimously.
That's a rarity. Oh, that's the word. Contrarian. That's the word I was looking for. So this time Jack was out of contrarian.
Yes, I'm a contrarian.
Well, you know what they say, you can't say contrarian without something.
Okay. So, all right. So here's the big one, guys. This is like fucking insane, but it's going to be a casino tag team royale for a future AEW World Tag Team Championship match. And all these fuckers we got here, oh my God, we got Bear Country, which is Bear Boulder and Bear Bronson. The Dark Order, represented by Alex Reynolds and John Silver, versus, I guess, another faction of the Dark Order, represented by Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. That's cool, they're the OGs. The Inner Circle, represented by Santana and Ortiz. The Butcher and the Blade. Private Party, which are Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Queen. Top Flight, Darius Martin and Dante Martin, versus the Death Triangle, El Triángulo de la Muerte, Pac and Ray Phoenix, versus the Varsity Blondes, Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr., versus my antivirus that just popped up, hold on, there we go, versus the Nightmares, Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall, versus Chaos Project, Luther and Serpentico, versus the Gun Club, Austin Club and Colton Gunn, versus the Dark Order yet again, represented by Alan Angels and Preston Vance, versus the Pretty Picture, oh god, really? Pretty Peter Avalon and Cesar Bononi. So out of all them guys,
you also have
Matt Seidel and Mark Seidel and SoCal Uncensored. My guys.
Oh wow, I skipped that whole thing. Yeah, I missed that whole line. Yeah, Sedal brothers, Matt Sedal, Mike Sedal, SoCal, Frankie Kazarian, and Christopher Daniels. But holy fucking shit. Okay, so out of all them guys,
I'm gonna guess that someone has a hard-on for tag team. I'm just guessing. Just a guess here.
Now I want to see where's the tag team with.
Did AEW hire Teddy Long at some point? Like.
I noticed that there was a missing gap there. I noticed that they forgot to mention Rikki Roxx and Joey Janela.
Well, that's something you'd have to ask JoJo about.
No, or even better, Rikki Roxx and Chuck El Luchador.
Well,
Ricky wanted too much money for that one,
Yeah, but if they wanted to bring me and Kid in, I mean, if they wanted to put me and Kid back together, we'd sweep these guys. And we'd hit them all with the power cord. He used to pick guys up in the fucking British Bulldog vertical suplex where he'd hold you there and do a squat, and then I would ride the guy on the way down with the flying body press. We killed guys with that move. Killed them.
Well, you wanted the exploding barbed wire, but they wouldn't agree to put that in the tag,
Fuck up my hair.
on a quick tangent, just randomly, because it's pertaining to the match. I could have sworn, didn't Christopher Daniels say he was retired? I could have sworn that's what he said, didn't he?
No,
or did I go crazy?
I think he said he'll never retire. I don't. He's already 110.
I could have sworn he said that he was going to step away from tag team and leave it up to Scorpio and Kazarian. I could have sworn he said something like that, didn't he?
Well, I think what's going on is, well, right now the storyline with SoCal Uncensored is, Kaz and Daniels are, I guess, if they lose one more time, then they're going to split up for good.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I screwed up. My bad.
Well, I'm hoping this doesn't count towards that. This is just a battle royal. I mean, that wouldn't be fair to them.
So who wants to go first? I can't even. I'll probably go last. Who wants to go first and gamble on who's going to win this one?
Shot in the dark, because there's so damn many. I'm going to go with Death Triangle. I think Pac and Ray Phoenix are going to win. There's kind of a toss-up between them and the Dark Order with Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, but I'm thinking I'm going to lean more towards Pac and Phoenix.
It's definitely, I mean, from what I'm looking at here, there's also 3 or 4 other teams that weren't announced yet. That always complicates these things. This is something I've noticed that AEW does quite often, and it makes doing these predictions difficult because they'll often throw something out there, but like a match like this, which is tag team royale with over 20 teams, goodness gracious, and they'll still leave some of the blanks blank. So then it's like, oh god, it could be any one of these teams, or hey, shot in the dark, maybe the Nasty Boys will come in for one last fat check and scoop it. We don't know because there's 4 spots left empty. If Knobs were in it, I wouldn't mess with him. Those guys beat Kurt Angle to death once. So read that story, look that up. But anyway, of the guys we know, there's a lot going on here. I mean, God, the numbers would have to go with the Dark Order in any of their 3 or 4 incarnations that are going to be in this match. I mean, from a storyline perspective, if I were a member of the Dark Order, I'd call a meeting and I would say, as long as 2 of our guys take this thing so that we can bring the belts into the Dark Order, it doesn't matter. We just got to scoop this. So whether it's, Reynolds and Silver or, one of the other teams or versions of it, it's like, well, whatever's best for the family. But at the same time, you got all these other characters in there. Personally, selfishly, I'd love to see the Varsity Blondes take it because Brian Pillman Jr. is phenomenal. I mean, have you been seeing this guy lately? Oh, God, he's on another planet.
He did just recently win the OVW Heavyweight Championship, but then he vacated it because he said he wanted to focus more on AEW. But he did win the OVW Heavyweight Championship, which is not something to shake, just push aside. I mean, that is a big accomplishment.
I had no idea he was working for Al Snow. That was cool.
This guy, I was fortunate enough to meet him right before the pandemic shut everything down. He came in to do a couple shows for the Monster Factory, and I was at one of them, and, we got to, he said hello to me before I got to even say hello to him because he liked my jacket, so that was really cool. Really humble guy, really awesome. Student of the game, knows his shit. He's really, really, like, a presence. Like, you look at him, he's like Matt Riddle in a sense, where you look at this dude and you're like, he's going places. So I wasn't shocked to see him get picked up by AEW and to see they're giving him a strong push. I mean, he's really killing it right now. Selfishly, it's like the timing of it, is good for him, bad for me, because I wanted to be on more shows with him at the factory, and he said he was going to be coming back to do a bunch more, but that was all supposed to be last spring, obviously into the summer. Obviously, none of those things happened, so haven't gotten to see him since then, except on TV, but I'm so proud of him. I'm rooting for him. I don't necessarily know if they're in a position to take this Battle Royal, but at the same time, they might, though, because they've been getting a hell of a push on TV, so this is one time where, in the interest of brevity, I'd have to just pick my favorite guys to go over, whether or not I think it makes storyline sense, and that would come down to either Varsity Blondes or SoCal Uncensored, because I love Kaz and Daniels going way, way back. But right now, if I wanted to see one team win, I would go for Garrison and Pillman, because I like the push they've been getting on TV. They've been getting a lot of time. And Pillman is going to be a fucking world beater within the next couple of years if they package him right and he stays healthy. So I'm going to call it for Varsity Blondes on this one.
I think with there's a couple different scenarios here. One, I mean, of the teams right now as it is, I think it comes down to like 3 teams. Like one, a dark horse, which I told you I'm a Bear Country guy. Those guys, I just love a good horse team like them, but they can also just move and just, I mean, they can, do pretty much everything they can, that you can want. So, I mean, they could be an interesting dark horse right there. But also, Stu Grace and Evil Uno, I think they, I just think that they can work well with anybody, whoever's champion. So you got that. I mean, and honestly, I think the Dark Order, they need some sort of booking direction. So, going into a big-time title shot, I think could be good for that faction. And it could also maybe foster the seeds for maybe some sort of dissent in the Dark Order with the other teams, because this is too big of a group right now. They need to kind of plant the seed for some sort of split. And then Death Triangle. I mean, you got 2 absolute just monsters in there at the top of their game right now, and I just can't. I just see them 2 as athletes being far and above everybody else in that match. Phoenix has been getting a ton of time lately at the top of the card. So right now, I mean, as far as the teams in there, I'm going to have to say Death Triangle as well. But it could come down to Dark Order. But as far as the other scenario, what Ricky touched on is there's a few slots open, I think that could leave the door open for, say, Jurassic Express to come in there. And if that's the case, if Jurassic Express does enter, I can see them taking it in order to really establish Jungle Boy as one of the top guys in the company. FTR could be a factor as well too. If FTR could come in possibly last moment and just steal it, you know. So
very well could. They very well could. That's the thing about these kind of matches, is that when those scenarios would make perfect sense, you know, and they'd be fun to see.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm kind of going into like overdrive on it because all these teams. There's so many different things that can happen. It's really hard to pick just one. I want to say Death Triangle, but I just, in my heart of hearts, I see FTR coming in there and stealing it to really get that new faction of theirs over. And, you know, they are wanting their rematch. They've already beat Jurassic Express. You know, they need something. And, but I say Death Triangle is probably my favorite right now.
So basically, the ones we know, you're saying Death Triangle, but you're also saying that FTR could come in as one of the unlisted spots and steal it, like Hogan tried to do at World War III back in '99, brother, or '97, brother.
Yeah, I know it's a couple different, because I'm trying to, you know, leave the door open with these other slots, because I know how AEW has been booking this shit. It seems like, you know, so you know,
it's good in a sense because they leave you hooked until the show starts. Like, we don't know everything that's coming, so there's always a surprise. The flip side of that is it's tough to make predictions when there's so much up in the air.
Yeah. And, you know, in FTR, I just think the sign of a healthy tag division is having FTR at the very top of it. Simple. You know, I mean, especially with Tully leading them. I mean, it's just beautiful. That
three-person spike pile driver the other night just killed me, man.
Tully was moving and bumping like nothing else. He's
still Tully. He's still Tully.
Here's a scenario, and this is off. Well, we'll talk about this, but I see Tessa possibly joining them, you know, and being a threat for their women's division. But that's a whole other story. If they,
we can touch on that another time, because there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give somebody else the floor now.
That would probably be you.
Unless anybody else wants to. Because, oh my goodness, there's a lot going on here. And like you guys say, this kind of match is unpredictable because, you know, there could be extra people that could just show up at the last minute, and, you know, that could just pretty much fuck everything up what we're trying to, you know, predict right now. I don't know, maybe the natural night.
I wouldn't be disappointed in that. I mean, I love Dustin, love Marshall. Me and Marshall go way back. They would be a dark horse pick, but I learned a long time ago. I've been in a ring with QT, and you never count him out. You just don't. So I think that would be an unlikely pick, but I think that it would also, selfishly, I would love that.
I'm also thinking that maybe some of the Dark Order might win the match. I don't know, Alex Reynolds and John Silver, or Evo Uno and Grayson. I mean, there's just like a lot that could be happening in this kind of match.
I don't think there's a bad choice in this one. Aside from either Avalon and Cesar Bardoni, but
I think to kind of run with the joke that Jack made earlier, it's really speaks to the presentation of AEW's tag team division, even with the limited amount of TV time they have every week, to the point where it is actually a division. We're looking at 20 teams right here, and they are teams. Most of them are not just two guys they put together because they had nothing for them. A lot of them are legitimate teams, and we're saying, oh, man, this could be any one of these teams could go over, and it would make a certain kind of sense. I mean, this is what's been missing from tag team wrestling for the last 25 years. Not to gush or anything. I'm just saying it's a thing when you look at it on paper. When you think of, like, who are the top 10 tag teams in WWE, for example? Do they have 10? I don't know. PWI might be tough to put a list together on that, but here you go. This is a tag team division. So I really got to give credit where it's due. I think that's one of the things AEW's done well over the past 2 years is really put that effort into their tag team division.
Mm. So what's your final pick then, Johnny?
I'll just go with the Old Nightmare.
So we got a dark horse pick, Dustin and QT. I would love that. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, for me, I'll go with the Death Triangle because, you know, we got Pac there, we got Rey Fenix there, we got the Triángulo de la Muerte, and they're badass. I love that name better than just Death Triangle. Like, if it was just Death Triangle, I would have been like, whatever. But them actually saying Triángulo de la Muerte, god damn it. But, I don't know. There's a lot of these guys, they need a bit more exposure. I think most of them are stuck on dark and everything. Like, for example, if, I heard Bear County is pretty awesome. Bear Country is pretty awesome. But, like, for example, if they won, like, the average guy that doesn't watch dark would be like, the fuck are these guys? Or whatever, you know what I mean? And,
You said Bear County. That's awesome.
Bear City.
oh, my God. But you know what I mean. Now, I just hope the AEW...
go ahead.
I just hope the AEW are smart enough to, like sprinkle the Dark Order out. Please don't make, like, let's say the Hearts all Dark Order guys. Like, you know, sprinkle them throughout the different the Hearts, Spades, clubs, whatever, so that they have more of an advantage. Don't be stupid and just put them all as, like, the Hearts and then have, like, someone just steamroll them all done and that's it, over and done. Goodbye, Dark Order. Thanks for playing.
That they're going to be trotting out Brody Lee Jr. yet again, you know. Keep milking that cow, you know.
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah.
I have nothing against the kid, and he's a kid. It's a kid. I get it. It's cool. But it's also, I don't know, it kind of like, it feels, and I hate saying this, but ever since Brody passed, it feels as though they don't know what to do with them. And it makes me really upset because I really love the Dark Order. Yeah. Especially, like I legitimately, if you actually watch Stu and Evil Uno work, their chemistry is, like, amazing in the ring. Like, their styles are so different, but they're so well done together. But it's kind of like, I don't know. It feels like they get drifted to the wayside.
I was even going to say, I'm having a hard time off the top of my head even recalling the direction of the Dark Order in more recent times. It does kind of seem like they're meandering a bit.
It seems
they
like
need a new lead. They need a new lead. They really do.
Yeah, I agree on that. It seems like really the only direction they truly ever had was when they were doing the whole the Exalted One is coming, you know, and then once Brody Lee joined, you know, they had those vignettes and, you know, and everything like that, and then they became the darlings of being the Elite. And, you know, then, you know, Brody Lee winning the TNT title, and then it was just, but as far as the rest of them really have not had any true direction in a long time. I mean, look at Colt Cabana, who's kind of just in the background more often than not. You know, you don't see him wrestling.
I kind of forgot he was there. Whoops.
Yeah. I mean, and I know they have been, you know, putting a good bit of focus on Anna Jay. It's a shame she got injured. I think she really, you know, is going to be the top of that women's division. I really think that was a good vehicle to really get her over. But other than that, I think it's too big of a group. I mean, this is starting to look like 1998 NWO. I'm just wondering. Yeah, I just, you know, at some point, you know, somebody's got to turn on the group. And but then, yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. But I'm thinking hoping this tag match could, you know, plant some seeds in that.
I mean, I like the presentation, though. I do like whenever Anna Jay shows up and the entire Dark Order's, like, behind her and shit, and they're doing the pose. I love that, though.
I agree. I think they're trying to push, I will say, I think they're trying really hard to push Ken. And I'm curious what they're going to do with him. And I was surprised when I heard about the, you know, tag team thing. I legitimately, when they were going to do a Dark Order team, I thought they were going to use number 5 and number 10. Like, that would have been kind of cool. Like, I would have liked to see them together.
I'll tell you something about 10. He reminds me, and I mean this as a compliment, but he really reminds me of a bit like Chris Masters. Chris Masters,
a little bit like a lighter Chris Masters.
Yeah, a lighter Chris Masters, but looks just like him almost in the face. But I mean, he almost works just like him. A lot of people in the past have like shit on Chris Masters, and I thought Chris Masters got a whole bunch of unnecessary flack. I thought he was always fairly entertaining.
He could have been something. They cut him off at the knees pointlessly. That was harsh what they did to him. It wasn't right.
Yeah.
I'll say this one last thing. I'm going to say this one last thing, and then we could go into the next match. I think Bear Country should team up with Hangman Page and Hillbilly Jim, and call themselves the Country Bear Jamboree. That's all.
Yeah, I'm sure Mark's looking forward to the County Bear Jamboree.
No, God. Okay.
So it sounded like. So, Mark, you said you picked Death Triangle, right? That's what you said? Yeah. So what was the over?
I picked them too.
So basically, Chuck, me, and Jack are representing, Death Triangle. Yo, we gotta represent. You know what I mean? And
back in my day, Death Triangle was what you called the threesome with Johnny Holmes and two hookers.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Okay. Anyways.
I thought you were gonna be like, back in my day, it was a murder octagon. I was like, what?
I thought I'd go for the tasteful joke.
Okay, so anyways, Ricky is going for
After Hours, kids.
All right, so Ricky's going for the Varsity Blondes, and Johnny's going for the Natural Nightmares.
It's a pick 'em, folks. But what do we got after that? What's the next one? Are we going right from a tag team battle royal to a tag team match? That would be a weird.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, it's like I don't know, man. AEW like barely ever does tag team matches. I don't know. It's a rarity. We got Miro and Kip Sapien with Penelope Ford, and in case Johnny, Johnny, in case you don't know, Miro used to be Rusev, so there you go. Versus the Best Friends, in this case represented by Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. I'm not sure what happened to the other guy, if he got injured or whatever, or we just want Cassidy in there.
I think he got a shoulder separation.
Ooh, I thought it was a pector.
Damn. So, I'll just go first. I'll give it to Cassidy and Taylor. Everyone loves Cassidy. He's like, he's on fire. I don't know when's the last match he had, but everyone loves him. They love his gimmick. They love it because now he's actually trying and all that stuff. At least for Miro, this would be probably first time in a while he's actually done anything, right? Isn't he just there goofing off now? Like, he hasn't had too many matches. I mean, the only thing, I don't know, but Penelope Ford, I don't know. No, you know what? Cassidy's been good with taking losses without it affecting him and stuff. Like, he's still root for him to get revenge or whatever. So, yeah, I'll change my mind. I'm going to give it to Miro and Sapien because they got the advantage of Penelope Ford doing some shenanigans in the background. And Cassidy, they can take the loss. They can take the loss without it, like, affecting them negatively. So I'll give it to Miro and Sapien. Mostly because this will probably be Miro's time to shine after a while,
Yeah, I'm going to probably say, that I think Cassidy and Chuck win this one. I just think Cassidy's the most over one in this match. And honestly, I think with the wedding now over with, I think this is because the whole point of bringing in Miro was the whole best man shit. Now the wedding's over. They got to do something else with Miro. So I think Miro, when I think Kip takes the pin, Miro just explodes and just beats the holy dog piss out of him after the match, and and that's the end of that. And Miro just starts his real monster tear after that.
Yeah, I can kind of see it going like that. First of all, I think they missed an opportunity with Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Instead of being the best friends, they could have called them Pockets and Shoes. But I think this could be even the start of something serious for Miro. He has been kind of kicking around and not doing a whole bunch. Cassidy, like you said, he's taken a couple L's and it didn't really hurt him. Could say he's due for a win, but I'm going to say this could be Miro's AEW coming out. Like you said, he could come out looking really strong and go on to better things. I'd kind of hope for that. Was never a huge Rusev fan, but it does kind of feel like they brought him in for more than what he's been doing. So, yeah, that's what I would say. If I were booking it, brother, I would say give it to Miro and Kip in this case and use it to help Miro kind of explode into something bigger for himself. Cassidy will be fine. I mean, he's overdoing what he does, so if he takes one more L, I don't think it's going to hurt him any.
Okay, so this is kind of a tough one because Orange Cassidy is kind of like a favorite. He always wins with his gimmicks here and there. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like Team Orange Cassidy, but at the same time, kind of like what you guys said. Miro, this is like his time to shine in the AEW. And this is a tough one because it could go either way. I mean, they could support Miro, but at the same time, I don't know if they want to let go of Orange Cassidy. Oh, this is kind of like I'll just go ahead with Miro. Maybe it'll be his time to shine.
Sounds like Miro and Kip are pulling ahead. What do you got for us, Jack?
I think Cassidy and Chuck are going to win, but only because I just get this feeling that, like, Miro is just going to, like, keep, like, hurting Chuck past the 5 count, and, like, technically they'll win, but, like, they'll have basically, like, destroyed them. So that's my theory, is that Orange and Chuck are going to win, but Miro and Kip more or less just, like, destroyed them. That's my feeling on what's most likely going to happen, because I don't see Miro losing, but I also think they're so worried about making Orange lose as well. So I think it's just a matter of, like, kind of like the best of both worlds, to have Miro just destroy Chuck, and then that'll eventually build a feud with Miro fighting Orange Cassidy in like a David versus Goliath kind of thing.
Interesting take. Yeah, Maverick.
So we got Mark, Johnny, and Rikki Roxx going for Miro and Kip, and we got Jack and Chuck going for Cassidy and Chuck. Okay, so the next match we have is Face of the Revolution ladder match for future AEW TNT Championship match, and we've got Cody Rhodes with Arn Anderson. We got Scorpio Sky, who I guess he's just being solo nowadays. We got Penta El Cero Miedo versus Lance Archer with Jake Roberts there, and Max Caster, and to be announced, a mysterious, a mysterious sixth person there, so,
To be announced is all over that show.
I know, I was like, well, what the, hey, did you tell me you had a flight booked for Florida later today?
No, I said I'd rather jump out of a plane than go to Florida.
Ah, okay. Just want to make sure, because, be like, oh my God, what is Rikki Roxx doing here? Just running in there with a steel chair.
Well, I mean, if I was in it, I'd sweep it, but no, they got mosquitoes the size of your head down there. But...
All right, so who wants to go first for this one?
I will. I'll just say I'm going to just go right off the bat. I'm going to say Scorpio needs this. He's kind of just been floundering forever. And I think that TNT title is, that's what I just think he's perfect for it. So, yeah, I'm just going to say, that, and honestly, with Scorpio style and everything, he's made to win this type of match. So, yeah, I'm going to say he's going to win this one.
Who do you think the mystery opponent is going to be?
Oh, God. Wow.
Brian Knobs.
There's the nasty boys.
There's a good one. The Shockmaster.
The Repo Man, or Hole in One Darso, take your pick. Let's see. Mantar. You can't count him out.
Hey,
you know?
Disco Inferno.
That would get
Oh
a
my
pop.
God.
That would get a pop.
Well, so Disco could probably still go, you know.
Well, especially if
I
he's,
don't know.
if he's on the powder.
Honestly, like if they bring in that, if the Hall of Fame signing is who I think, I mean, this quote unquote Hall of Fame worthy talent is who I think it is, I think he enters the match. So my prediction for that signing is Christian. So dark horse possibly. It's a ladder match, you know. So yeah, I'll say Scorpio. But if Christian shows up, possibly him. Who knows?
Yeah, I'll put you in for both. And yeah, I read an article somewhere. Some other people are thinking that it could be Christian. So
Christian Cage.
Oh yeah, I forgot. WWE likes to remove your last name and junk.
I think the Hall of Fame announcement person is going to be totally different than the person in the ladder match. I think they're going to be like two people technically. But
Yeah, maybe.
No, I hadn't even considered that. Now he said Christian would be a possibility. Oh man, it's so hard to pick who these mystery opponents for AEW can even be because people come and go so fast anymore. But I could see. I wasn't even aware that he was on the outs with Vince. I mean, didn't he just do the Rumble? That would be a huge get for them. But
is he a free agent or is he still under like some sort of contract? That's
all that's all that's known for right now is, as of right now, all they pretty much said is that the Royal Rumble was a one-off for Christian and a one-off for Carlito. Like, that's all.
I heard
Carlito's another name.
I heard they were keeping him around for a while to see like where it would go with Carlito.
It's like in negotiations with no, Carlito was a one-off, but I think Christian's in negotiations. So it's kind of up in the air with him.
Wow. See, that's the thing. Stuff happens so fast nowadays. I can't even keep up sometimes. But Christian would be an interesting get. I kind of don't see him doing that. Just because I think, he'd rather try to stick around where he's, maybe try to coast a little bit on the Edge storyline that's big right now. God. But that would be interesting to see. I couldn't even speculate on who the mystery guy would be otherwise because, I know it's probably not me. Could be Jersey Kid.
Can we do something kind of crazy and allow me to take Ricky's guess and have my own? Would that be okay?
I'll make a guess. I kind of think well, you mean for the winner or for the mystery guy?
No, the mystery guy.
All right, yeah, because I'll wrap this up in a second. I gotta think. The winner gets a TNT Championship match. See, you got Hoyt coming in with Jake the Snake, and you got Cody coming in with Double A. I mean, that could skew things around either way. Hoyt's got the height. I always call him Hoyt. You know that. God. Okay, I'm gonna say Archer. Because he's got an interesting haircut, and I love Jake the Snake. Unless the mystery guy turns out to be somebody really big, and in which case they'll probably take it because they want to capitalize on a big announcement. But otherwise, I'll say Lance.
Okay, so my pick up to be announced wrestler at this point, because I really don't know what's gonna, who they're gonna pick or what's going on or whatever. I'll just choose Christian just for the sake of it. And in terms of who wins the match, maybe Scorpio Sky. I don't know. He might have a shot in this one. So yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. I think it'll be Scorpio.
Another dark horse pick. Now, Jack, I'm interested in seeing, because I kind of scooped your heat for a second there before, but I was curious to see what some of your ideas are, because you always got these really intriguing perspectives that I usually don't even think of them until after you say them. So what do you got for us?
I have one of two ideas. I honestly think that the talent announced that Big Show is going to say the. Because remember, he said Hall of Fame worthy. He didn't say Hall of Famer. He said Hall of Fame worthy. So my theory, the obvious pick for that would be CM Punk. Like, obviously, because he's the one everyone wants to sign. He's a big name. Like, I get it. So that's out of that. That's out of the way for that. But if I were to go off of this match, okay, so I have two theories of thought. Okay, so it's either the first person I think it could be would be the new leader of the Dark Order, and it would be Eric Redbeard, aka Eric Rowan. That would be the most obvious choice because he is a free agent. But off of a who I think would be amazing, and considering AEW is trying so desperately to bring this whole kicking in forbidden doors and bringing in epic talent and trying to splice in the wrestling world, or at least that's the narrative they've been pushing. Who I would like it to be, and who I think would be actually a realistic, not too overboard pick, would be the NWA champion Nick Aldis.
Huh.
Because coming up soon, NWA is going to be doing a show. And here's another thing that's weird. So, a lot of people don't know this. NWA Power completely privated every video that they have on their YouTube page. And that's so odd. And even the people in charge of NWA are like, well, that's kind of odd. So, perhaps this could be a branching of NWA and AEW. I mean, they already have the NWA Women's Champion, so wouldn't it make sense to also bring the NWA Champion? And then kind of splice the talent together. That's my line of thinking. But based off of who's in the title match, or who's in this ladder match, I'm gonna go off of what Ricky said. I'm thinking Lance Archer will probably win. But I think it would be really cool if either Eric Redbeard or Nick Aldis showed up. That would be my guess of who I would want to be in that match.
And see, I hadn't even considered any of those picks, so that's why you're here. Because they wouldn't have occurred to me at all, but they make so much sense.
Okay, so I guess, let me see here the choices real quick again. I mean, personal bias, because, hey, once again, gotta represent, yo. I would go with Penta El Cero Miedo, because that would be super awesome to see him get a title shot there for AEW Championship. He's pretty cool. Or AEW TNT Championship. For the Hall of Famer, I'm going to say Christian. It seems very high. That's him for whatever reason. That a lot of people seem to think that, and I kind of get the idea that usually when a lot of people are kind of buzzing, they know something we don't, and they may be right. So I'm gonna probably go with Christian. I just see that, like, I mean, yeah, you'll get a big pop if Eric Redbeard shows up and whatever, but I mean, I don't know, you'll get like a you know, the roof goes flying off if Christian enters the ring. You know that'll be like the bigger pop of everything else. Either that, or if one of the Nasty Boys is still available, we got to see about that one.
Well, you know, if it's Sags, then I think everybody else just should look. I hear that Sags is actually a lot tougher than Knobs. They both were cool to me, thank God. But yeah, that's what I've heard.
So let me try to get everyone's final choices here, because it's kind of weird. So Chuck got Scorpio Sky, and Christian could be the mystery person. Ricky, I believe you also think Christian's a mystery person, but did you also have him winning as well?
No, I think ultimately if it is him, then probably. But I could see them doing that. But I'm just going off the people that we know if one of the people who's been announced wins it, I'm going to say it's Archer. But there again is that guy TBA. He's all over the show tonight, brother.
Yeah.
It could be a huge surprise, or it could be flatter than Lola Bunny in the Space Jam reboot.
Oh my God, we had to go there, didn't we?
Look who you're asking.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. Oh Jesus. Okay. Anyways, so Johnny also went for Scorpio Sky or the possibility of Christian being in there. I didn't quite get Jack, because you said a bunch of choices. So what was your final choice there of the mystery people and the one who might win of the announced?
Of the ones, I'm going to go with the safe bet as of just off of who's announced right now. I'm going to say Lance Archer. But I also just have a feeling that the mystery opponent's going to win, because every time they've had even if you remember, the last mystery opponent of a ladder match they had was Brian Cage, and he won.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to say the mystery opponent wins. That's my guess.
Okay, but you're going to go with Christian or Eric Redbeard, or?
I'm going to go with Eric Redbeard. If he comes in, it's going to be Eric Redbeard wins.
Yeah, he's a pretty big dude. He could take it. He could just take them all by surprise and maul them all, you know? Have an epic face-off between Archer and Redbeard, you know? So that's a good thing right there. All right, so, yeah, it's a toss-up. It's a pick-em, like Roxx likes to say. And let's see here. So Lola Bunny is still trying to find out what happened to her boobs. The next match here is Hangman Adam Page versus Big Money Matt Hardy. And apparently the winner is going to receive the loser's 2021 first quarter earnings. So yeah, literally it's a big money match. And what do you guys think?
Hangman's winning this one. I don't see Hardy doing it. I think Hardy's at the point now where he's, and rightfully so, he's putting people over, and I think he's going to make Hangman look like $1 million in this match. Simple as that.
Yeah, it definitely seems kind of like the way the storyline has led it. Hangman's been a little bit ahead of Matt Hardy at every turn. He outsmarted him with the contract signing to even bring this stipulation into play. They could be running a longer angle with it, where, Matt has the upper hand for now, but then Hangman comes from behind later on. But I don't know if I see them going all that far with it for that long. I'm going to say that Big Money Matt's going to get his comeuppance, and I think Hangman Adam Page is going to take this one.
Yeah, I think Hangman's going to win. I mean, you look at both of them right now, Matt's doing the whole manager thing with Private Party, and he's getting a lot of TV time. But then you look at Hangman, and really, since they lost the tag team, he's been stagnating.
Yeah.
There's nothing for him to do. So it would make no sense for Hangman to lose, because there's nothing for him to do. If he loses, it's just going to be like, oh, well, no loss, no foul. But if he wins, it could, kind of build up something with him.
Yeah, exactly. How about Johnny?
Yeah, so pretty much like what everybody else said. I think Hangman Adam Page got a shot.
Well, this could be another runaway. What do you got for us, Mark?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see Big Money Matt winning this one. It's probably gonna go for Hangman Page, because you guys, you have a point there. He has to rebuild his momentum. He hasn't really been doing too much, and that at least gets his wins going. Hardy's just, I don't know, he's just kind of there. Stipulation so-so, because, it's like money. We don't get to see that. We don't get to see if they're really going to pay each other off, behind the scenes. So the stipulation isn't as crazy as other ones where you kind of assume who's going to win based on the stipulation. So I'll just give it to Hangman Page.
So this is a runaway. We got Hangman unanimous decision over here. How often does that happen?
Yeah, I know.